want change, you gotta force it. So go all in. Give it everything. You're not gonna stumble into success. You're not gonna stumble into the life that you want. No! You gotta eat. You gotta take the steps and move forward. Alright? Nothing changes unless something changes. Let's go!
The biggest advice I could give you right now, the biggest advice that anybody could give you, and this is not my words, Woody Allen told me this. I said, Woody, what's the secret to success? He said, 85 to 90% of life is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen.
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I could pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th?
I don't care what you're going to do, but go out there, make something of yourself, be an honest person, and work, and get to the top of whatever it is that you want to get to the top of. You know, and stand up for yourself like a respectable human being, and be a bit of a light on the world instead of a blight.
Everyone else, you want to learn the way to win, but never to accept the way to lose. To accept defeat, to learn to die is to be liberated from it. So when tomorrow comes, you must free your ambitious mind and learn the art of dying.
In order for something new to come, something old must go. And that old can sometimes mean let go of what you know until now. Empty the cup and start from the beginning.
It's going to take a bunch of small, micro failures along the way. But you have to understand that that is part of the process. When you want to achieve the highest goal of all time, you are going to have to learn how to get your ass kicked all the way up that damn mountain.
People won't want to hear this, but what you avoid controls you. If you avoid tough conversations, your relationships suffer. If you avoid risk, your business will suffer. If you avoid failure, your growth will suffer. If you think having uncomfortable conversations is hard, wait until you see the result of not having uncomfortable conversations. Much harder. At least for me, I just try and face the thing that I'm avoiding and constantly ask myself, like, what is that thing that I'm trying not to look at? And then force myself to stare at it, because usually the thing that scares you the most is the thing that you need most to face to move forward.
If you keep going every single day and don't stop, your competition will fall off, bro. These niggas ain't cut like you, bro. They ain't ready for prime time. They ain't trying to really get right. They take days off, this day off, that day off. They lazy. I'm tired. No. Grind every day, one foot in front of the other, bro. And I promise you, we're gonna be lapping these folks, bro. You can't be sitting here every day being piss poor expecting to be successful. That's not how it works. Every single day is clockwork, grind. And what you do is not gonna cut it. So don't be sitting here and surprised when you live in an average life because you're doing average things. Simple as that. Hey, bro, look. Good days, bad days, keep going. You look, me and you both know life is unpredictable. But the one thing that you should be able to predict is the fact that you're gonna show up the next day. You should be able to count on yourself and know that when in doubt, you got you.
Believe in yourself. There's nothing wrong with having confidence. There's nothing wrong with being delusional. There's nothing wrong with seeing things that people don't see. So believe in yourself, stay consistent, and it'll happen.
Why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it.
If you do not have clear goals for your life, you are condemned forever to work for those who do.
If you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes a sacrifice.
You see, in life, it's very simple. Either you are working toward the accomplishment of your goals, or you're working toward the accomplishment of other people's goals.
the more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong.
If you want to be great, you want to be baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
If you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices because it takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So you have to make the choices and decisions to have the discipline and the focus to the process of what you need to do to accomplish your goals.
Only risk takers win. By definition, if you are the same as everybody else, if you're not taking a risk over and above what everybody else is taking, by definition, you can't win. If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, how can you possibly win? You have to be different to win. You have to take risks.
What if you actually did it? How do you think you'd feel? I mean, just for a minute, think about what your life would look like if you hit every goal that you had. If you actually went out and did everything you said you were going to do. What would your life look like?
Say that again, Jay.
You already are extremely, incredibly successful at something, but because it's easy for you and natural for you, you don't think it's a skill.
Leonardo da Vinci famously said, God will sell you all things at the price of labor. You cannot have success without suffering. You cannot have winning without effort and without dedication. If you want to achieve success, you're gonna have to pay the price. And it won't be cheap. It'll be tireless nights, long days, empty bank accounts, depressing thoughts, isolation, loneliness, tribulation, heartaches, headaches, and a lot of pain. But on the other side of pain is pleasure. On the other side of pain is success. And if you understand that and you have that as the beacon in the forefront of your life, well, work becomes more bearable. The journey becomes more enjoyable because you understand that in due time you will sow and in due time you will reap.
What have you learned about how to deal with and overcome fear?
Go. When all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go. So just take action.
Now is the time to take risk. You don't have kids. As you get older, your obligations increase. And once you have a family, you start taking risk not just for yourself, but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it.
Whatever happens to you when you tell the truth is the best thing that could happen, no matter how it looks to you. That's a statement of faith. Now, there's an alternative statement, which is, oh, no. I'll say something and there'll be a consequence, and I'll have faith that that consequence is the defining feature of that utterance. I said something, I got in trouble, therefore I shouldn't have said it. It's like, well, what if you get in trouble, but like 3 weeks later, everything's way better for you? Christ, like, it's not like there's any shortage of things like that in life. That's what work is. Work is, I'm going to do this thing now that's difficult, so that something better will happen in the future. The other thing you have to understand, and this is a good thing for young men to understand, is you're going to pay one way or another. There's no way out of that. So choose your method of payment. If you choose the proper method of payment, the price you pay is one you would pay happily.
You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is about risk. If you play it safe in life, you ain't gonna have much of a life. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life. Life is risk. It take courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually, God is very good, man, when he sees you take a leap of faith. He supplies you everything you need. Now, it's gonna cost you something, but most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're gonna have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is very uncomfortable. uncomfortable feeling.
Some people dream of success. Others wake up and work for it. The truth is, you can't just want it. You have to show up for it every single day. Your future depends on what you do today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Fear will tell you to wait. Fear will tell you you're not ready, but you'll never feel ready. You just have to start. Take the step you've been avoiding. Fail, learn, adjust, and go again. Do not wait for motivation. Discipline will take you places motivation never could. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps you going when you feel like quitting. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Push yourself into the unknown. That's where your future is waiting. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity, but only if you choose to see it. This is your sign. Start now, push through, and watch yourself become someone you once thought you could only admire.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. The point is, every graduate has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? Here's my second point about failure. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. And I can't think of a better message today. To not only take risks, but to be open to life, to accept new views, and to be open to new opinions. For while it may be frightening, it will also be rewarding. Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you.
If you only do what you can do, you will never be more than you are now.
I don't want to be more. I like who I am.
You don't even know who you are.
Here. Pretend that that's a seed.
It's a rock.
Oh, I know it's a rock, I know, but let's just pretend for a minute that it's a seed, all right? We'll just use our imaginations. Now, do you see our tree? Everything that made that giant tree is already contained inside this tiny little seed. All it needs is some time, a little bit of sunshine and rain, and voila!
Incredible power awaits you. Power beyond anything you can imagine.
You might not feel like you can do much now, but that's just because, well, you're not a tree yet. You just have to give yourself some time. You're still a seed.
There's no way I'm ever gonna be like you.
I'm not trying to turn you into me. I'm trying to turn you into you.
Hope you find the courage to change your life. In the small ways, in the big ways, in every way that matters. I hope you do not end this story with a heart full of regrets. I hope you do not spend your years just waiting for your life to begin. I hope you realize that this is not the practice run, this is not the preview, this is it. There is nothing to do but leap. There is nothing to do but allow yourself to exist as boldly and honestly as you can. You will think you have forever, but you do not. It all happens, and it happens quickly. You are not waiting on another person, or the right timing, or for everything to fall into place. You are waiting to feel ready enough to exist within the questions, to not need every answer, and to know that this life does not come to us to be perfectly understood, but to be fully experienced in every direction we can possibly reach.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You gotta have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you gotta get your money to work for you.
Do not let the memories of your past limit the potential of your future. There are no limits to what you can achieve on your journey through life, except in your mind. You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change and not being able to make them change and not thinking I could. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier sometimes, that in order for something to change, there needs to be change. I'm gonna have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action Because nothing changes if nothing changes, man. We'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? Would I be able to do it? You don't know. Until you say, I'm gonna take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man.
When you take the chance to go after your dreams, when you take the risk, sure, you may fail, but what if you fly? What if you succeed? What if you do greater than you could have ever imagined? What if you impact and change millions of lives? What if the world is different in a better way because of you?
Oversharing is how you leak the energy. Privacy is protection. Stop telling people more than what they need to know. The less you reveal, the more people can wonder. Forget attention. Move in silence. Live peacefully. Vibrate higher. Only speak when it's time to say checkmate.
Whatever happens, happens. Stop obsessing over things that you can't control. Life will not go the way you planned, and that's okay. Just learn to accept things and trust in timing, and don't forget, everything happens for a reason. Stay positive, make the best out of what life threw at you, and when you're frustrated about that things didn't go the way you planned, remember, God had a different hand. Whatever happens, happens.
The club, the party, wasting your time pretending you're living life when deep down you know you're falling behind. While they're out chasing a temporary high, you could be chasing a permanent future. While they're screaming over loud music, you could be quietly building the life they'll envy later. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. Success isn't loud. It doesn't come from being seen. It comes from being locked in. From late nights grinding when everyone else is asleep. From choosing discipline over dopamine. From wanting your dream more than you want attention. Every night you give to distractions is a night you steal from your future. Every night you invest in your craft is a night that pays you back tenfold. And when it's all said and done, when the glow of the club fades and the hangovers catch up, you'll look around and realize the only one who got ahead was the one who wasn't there, the one who stayed focused, the one who bet on themselves. So stop wasting your fire on nights you won't remember. Build something you'll never forget. Comment focused if you're done choosing distractions over your destiny.
Reality is, the more risk you take, the luckier you get. So people need to learn to take one big risk a day. Practice that risk muscle.
Take the biggest risks of your entire life right now. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
Is that when it feels scary to jump, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
The highest risk takers are the people that win. Risk. No risk, no reward. You want to risk? Okay, that's where the game is played.
Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you. That all of us were created in God's image. So when you take a chance on you, you're taking a chance on God.
But risk must be taken for the greatest. Hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, has nothing, does nothing, is nothing.
If you can surpass all of these motherfuckers, if everybody who was way up here started up here, and you started with no legs, you had to grow legs to even start walking, and then crawling, and then running, and then you start passing people with all this given to them. I had to use all this negative shit that was making me weak and horrible as a person. I had to use this as the power that now fueled me. I had to flip it on its head and say, hold up. This might be exactly what I need.
In the battle you find peace. When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace. It's because you know exactly who you are. Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings gotta go away. What are you doing with your life, man? Why are you sitting around? Why are you waiting for shit to happen? It ain't gonna happen like that. Why are you feeling sorry for yourself? Why are you waiting for that apology that's never gonna fucking come?
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about better than that!
The requirements for you to succeed greatly in life is you're going to have to move out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to take risks where there's a great possibility of failure, at least in the short term. Now I want to talk about what we call taking smart risks. It's taking risks that are necessary but will not kill you if they don't work out. Whenever you engage in any action where the outcome is uncertain for any reason, even crossing the street, you're taking a risk. You take a risk whenever you venture into the unknown, where your possibilities and probabilities cannot be determined to an exact degree. From the time you get up in the morning until you go to bed at night, and even while you're sleeping, you're facing risk to some degree. The issue then is not whether or not you take risks. The issue is how skillful you are, and therefore how confident you are in taking the right risks for the right reasons in pursuit of the right goals or objectives. The better you become at analyzing and assessing risk, as all top people are, and then avoiding as much of the risk as possible, as all successful people do, the more competent and more capable you will become, the more risks you'll be willing to take because they're smart, and the more successful you will be.